Please be seated.
Nella, will you be my volunteer? Okay, I want you to put this backpack on. And then pretend that this little table is a gate that you have to go through. You have to go under the gate. Can we make it through?
No.
No. What do we have to do so that Nella and the backpack can both go through that gate?
I have to take off my backpack and I have to slide it under.
Oh man, that's a tight fit.
Or I go under.
Oh, I see. Thank you for helping me solve that problem. You made it through. You couldn't have that attached to you. We couldn't hold on to this backpack. We had to let it go in order to fit through the gate, right?
Right.
In today's gospel, a rich man comes to Jesus and says, "How can I go to heaven?" And Jesus says, "I want you to sell all of your things and give the money to the poor." And the rich man, he goes away very sad. Why? Why do you think he was sad when Jesus told him to get rid of all of his things?
Because he didn't want to get rid of all his nice things and all his nice gold money.
And all of his money. Jesus could see his heart, and he could see that the rich man loved his money and he loved his things more than he loved God. Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven." And how do you think that made his disciples feel?
Surprised. Because they said that would be impossible.
That would be impossible. A camel cannot fit through the eye of a needle. I brought with me a needle and thread. Could a camel fit through this?
No.
No, that's impossible. So if it's so hard for a rich man to go to heaven, how can anyone get there? And how do you think that made them feel? It made them feel surprised. It made them feel maybe discouraged, thinking that no one would be able to go to heaven. But Jesus said, with God, all things are possible. God can change our hearts so that we can overcome our struggles and we can overcome any troubles that we might have. And I brought with me this needle and thread. The thread is meant to go through the needle, so it goes through no problem.
Yeah.
Just so easy. I also brought some yarn with me, some really thick yarn. And do we think we can put this yarn through the needle?
No.
No, that's impossible. This yarn is much too thick to fit through that needle. It will never go through. But what if we take just one strand at a time? We'll see if we can get the yarn to go through the needle. There goes one strand,
Yep.
all the way through. And then we'll take another one. And we'll push that strand through. And then we have one more. And we'll pull our final strand through the needle. It's a pretty tight fit. But we can do it, we think. There it goes. So we pulled all 3 strands of our yarn through this needle. We didn't change the yarn. It's still the same yarn that we started with, right?
Right.
But we changed it just a little bit so that it could do what we said was impossible before. And God can do the same thing for us. We're still the same person, but our hearts can change so that we can overcome any struggles or troubles that we might have. Will you pray with me?
Yes.
Dear Lord,
Dear Lord,
help us to love you.
help us to love you.
Change our hearts
Change our hearts
so we can serve each other
so we can serve each other
and follow you.
and follow you.
Amen.
Amen.